everyone, welcome back to Once Upon a Van Life. Right now we are back on our trip traveling across Canada. We took a little break over Christmas and went back to Waterloo region to visit some friends and family, and now we are back on the road. So we have a little bit of New Brunswick from about 8 weeks ago left to show you today. We just couldn't leave it out. It's so fantastic out there. And then we'll get on to us moving on west, because we've already made it all the way back out of Ontario and are traveling across Manitoba right now. So I hope you enjoy, and stay tuned for what's coming as we travel west after this. Thanks. So when we left Fundy, we tried to go to St. John. It's right on the water as well, but unfortunately you can't stay at either of the Walmarts in St. John. There was a lot of signage about no overnight parking at the parks, at the Walmarts, and we actually ended up at about 6 o'clock that night making the call of picking up a pizza and just driving the 2 hours to Fredericton, because we knew that you could stay at the Walmarts in Fredericton. It was posted on iOverlander. And like, what are you supposed to do if it's not a van life friendly town?
It was a really cool looking town. It just didn't work for us. But
we went to a nice little beach and walked Hendricks, but that was about all we could do. So yeah, we just grabbed a pizza and headed on to Fredericton.
We ended up going to Fredericton, and man, did we really like Fredericton.
We love Fredericton.
We spent a bunch of time there, like just so many parks, breweries. We spent the day thrifting as usual.
Walking trails, like, and there's these bridges, like a lot of places these days have a river running through them, and they have multiple bridges, like a highway bridge, a car bridge, but there was also this huge pedestrian bridge that used to be a train bridge, and man, it was so awesome. There was like hundreds of people walking it, biking it. Yeah. Everyone was on motorized scooters. It was a hit place. We really liked it.
Right by there, we went to this brewery called Picaroons, and it was awesome. Like really, really nice. Once again, could take the dog there outside. We didn't go inside. It was really nice, but
yeah, they had like a food counter, so you could order restaurant food, get your beers. It was great, and it was super busy too. So.
And then because the river kind of divides the city into two, so it kind of has the downtown area, and then the older part of Fredericton is divided there, which is really nice.
It's laid out well, like you can see like the real authentic part that's been there for a long time, and then the big box stores are kind of pushed out to the edge, which we really liked because it didn't taint like how beautiful the downtown and the river area was. Yeah, it was nice the way it was laid out.
And we also stayed at a Harvest House, a brewery called Grimross.
Which blew our mind, to be honest, because if you don't mind me butting in, babe, we drove up and it looks like you're in like an industrial area. So you're starting to hit that like big box store kind of area. And it's a big, huge building, and it's got like a gym connected to it. And he said, oh yeah, just go park around back wherever you want. And we pull around the back, and it's a forest, like of all these like trees and wetlands.
And also what they had there, so they had the forest, but they also had like a patio out back. And there was like a shipping container that they used for the bar, and it was
lights
super
and
nice.
Kegs and fences.
We had a beer, and then we went and ate in the van, and then
as the sun was going
we were
down,
like, let's go have another beer. And you know what? Hendricks could come there
on the
too,
patio
as usual. So I don't know, Fredericton, super nice, just even for that. 2 breweries where we could do that. There was more breweries. I'm sure we could take him in.
Fun note about that night too, that was the first time we ordered takeout food to a parking lot behind a brewery in the dark, and the pizza actually showed up. We felt a little bit silly ordering it at 11 o'clock at night because there was nothing in driving distance, and we were already in like sleep mode, like the cabin of the
I had a couple beers, I couldn't drive, right?
But yeah, Josh felt funny calling, but the guy actually showed up, and it turned into a whole thing. Like,
it was great.
He stayed and talked for like 20 minutes, the driver, so that was really cool, but it was a new experience for us.
And also there too was a park called Odell Park, which was right in the middle, which we just kept going there after we
I bet you we went 5 times.
We chilled there like all the time, just because literally it was so nice and so many trails.
Massive forest. Massive.
I think at one point, Hendricks, we kept walking this one trail. At one point, Hendricks was like, oh, are we seriously walking this trail again?
And lots of like up and down, which we love. We love like elevation walking.
Super nice park, like just like so many families walking through there, which was really cool to see, like people getting together and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and there was 2 ball diamonds, so we would just kind of like park there and then adventure into the park, and yeah, it was great. It reminded me of like a kind of like a little mini like Central Park, because it was this giant green square in the middle of town, which was really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, we
really liked.
We spent a fair amount of time there, and it was really nice. So definitely check out Fredericton. We're in Fredericton, New Brunswick here, and it's like right on the St. John River, and the view is amazing. Like, look at all the colors. This town's really nice, and the fall weather really brings out the beautiness in it. That's like a little walking, not a little one, it's a big walking bridge over there. We definitely dig this town though. It is super nice. A little bit of new mixed with the old. Amazing views, and look, mountains just in the back. Awesome.
So after Fredericton, it was Thanksgiving weekend coming up, and we wanted to try to make a Thanksgiving meal in the van, or at least I did. I do most of the cooking. So we went to MATAQUE Provincial.
You got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Went to MATAQUE Provincial Park, and it was a beautiful little park. It was actually the last weekend they were open, so a lot of the stuff wasn't open. We actually couldn't even get firewood. It was interesting. The laundry facilities were closed, but there was like maybe 10 people in the whole park.
You could tell people like that have seasonal places there were like they had like decks they were putting away and taking their trailers home. So
but the fall leaves were in full color this weekend. They were all just starting to fall, so our campsite was covered in just beautiful colors of leaves. It was still warm. Like, I worked out in a tank top and tights outside, and we made a really nice Thanksgiving dinner, which I'll throw some pictures up too. But I was kind of proud. I made like stuffing, veggies.
It was cool.
Chicken for Josh, fake chicken for me.
I got to watch football, and we had Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was
awesome.
It was definitely a nice little
It was our first holiday, and it was great. Hey guys, I'm at MATAQUE Provincial Park.
You got it.
Fall.
Woo!
It's fall time. It's Thanksgiving weekend. It is beautiful out. The trees are all changing. The beach is lovely. It's really, really nice. I'm tempted to go swimming, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, we're in New Brunswick right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Hendrix agrees. Say hey, pal.
All right, another place that we went to in New Brunswick that we really liked was Miramichi, which was divided by a river as well, which they love to do that in New Brunswick, I guess. But they had a cool bridge and just a nice little quaint town. We obviously did some thrifting and chilled there for a bit. We went to this park called the French Cove Park, and
such a cool place.
Awesome! Like, the trails there were
I think it was actually
awesome.
Called like French Cove Adventure Park or something like that.
They had like a biking trail and like zip
lines over this like big lake and cove. They had a big bridge that you could walk.
Yeah, down. And then there was like the boardwalk that was down on
the water.
But the one really fun thing that we found there was we started hiking on this trail,
and it just said 3 kilometers, called like the Trout Trail or something.
And Sam and I are talking, and we're just taking the dog for a walk, and it's starting to get rocky, and we don't even think anything of it. And then all of a sudden it comes to this part where you have to take like ropes.
It's like
down.
It's really steep.
So we're like, whatever, we'll do it. I grabbed the dog, and Sam, I think even made
a little video, so we'll throw that in.
And we're going, and we go down the ropes. We're like, okay, cool, whatever, we'll just keep going. And then there's like these boardwalks that take you over like these streams.
But they're like this thin, like they're not very big.
Yeah, so you go across that, and then all of a sudden, just like almost pretty much, it felt like it was a mountain because there was more parts where you needed to have ropes.
And like you could only get up if you like pulled yourself up these ropes.
It was like, honestly, like 20 minutes of like going up these like steep hills
and back down again
with ropes. I have the dog, he's crushing it. Like, this guy is just like, he's such a hiker now. It's so awesome to see how far he has come from when we first got him. He could barely walk. 2 minutes.
It said 3 kilometers, but
like
it took us
2
over
hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
It was very athletic.
it was an awesome. It was like real hiking. You know what I mean? We didn't expect it at all, but it was awesome. I was definitely sweating. We got back to the van. I like had a cold beer because I was like, that was awesome. Yeah.
And it's funny, the day before we almost took that trail before breakfast, and I had said to Josh, "Oh, I haven't even had my coffee. I don't know if I have 3 or 4 kilometers in me." Thank God, because if we had taken that trail, like it would have been a really big like first thing in the morning walk. For sure. But it was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. And then the day after that, we went to Kuchibowak.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
That's where, in the last video, we saw the bear.
Yeah, that was where we saw that little black bear.
Which we already talked about that, so...
That was really nice, though. Definitely recommend Kuchibowak as well. There's a lot of really great parks.
Yep, a lot of trails, and it's like right on the ocean.
Outside of town that we didn't actually get to, but there's a lot around Miramichi if you're looking for like somewhere to spend a couple of days. Hey guys, we're at Kuchibowak National Park in New Brunswick, and as usual, just absolutely beautiful. Back on the ocean today.
It's right on the edge of the ocean. So another place that we went to was Campbellton, New Brunswick, which is actually when we first came from Quebec, when we
before PEI, before anything.
We stayed there the first day of New Brunswick that we went in there, and that was kind of a trip too, because the first time we went through, nobody was wearing masks, and we were like, "What's going on here?"
It was very willy-nilly for us.
Yeah, and I went to Canadian Tire. No one was wearing masks. I came out, and I was like, "Nobody's wearing a mask." And then I Googled it. At that time, they had actually, their numbers went lower and their vaccination rates went up, so they had actually lost the mask rule. We were still like wearing it.
We wore ours anyway.
You know, we're traveling around, but by the time we came back, New Brunswick
had a lot of cases.
Had a lot more cases, so everyone was wearing masks.
It was like back to square one, like lined up, standing in little squares 10 feet apart at the bank. Yeah. It was weird. Like it had really changed. The atmosphere had changed.
So on our way out of New Brunswick, we kind of went back. And in Campbellton, we went to Sugarloaf Park, which was pretty awesome. It's like
it's a provincial park.
Yeah, provincial park, but it's like a ski resort, and it had a bunch of trails and like mountains all around. And we went actually for this hike around a mountain. We didn't go up it just because. I
think it's Sugarloaf Mountain is what it's called.
we didn't go up it, but we went for a walk around. It was super nice. So we spent some time there. And
we do have some photos from the top. The first morning we kind of like walked up to the top of the ski hill, so we do have some photos from up there that are really nice too.
And so that was pretty awesome. And then the next day we drove to Grand Falls,
which was our last night in New Brunswick.
Yeah, and it was awesome because it had like a whole gorge and waterfalls like right in the middle of the town, and like you could like go and park. We just chilled once again, go for a walk there around, and then came back, and you could just like chill in this little visitor area, and that's kind of what we did. We've been traveling for the past couple weeks, so it was kind of like, okay, we just need to like relax a bit. But no, that was like super nice.
Yeah, Grand Falls, very cool. So close to the border that we actually got a notification from Rogers, which I haven't checked yet, that we were roaming and that we'd entered the United States. So it's so close to the border of Maine, which is funny because at the time it was illegal for us to enter the States. So I guess if it's on my Rogers bill, I have a good excuse. But yeah, really cool. Right next to Maine.
Yeah.
And yeah, huge gorge in the middle of the city. Highly recommend it. It was a bit last minute for us. We were just looking for somewhere to stay for the last night, but awesome.
We're in Grand Falls, New Brunswick, excuse me. Apparently just this ridiculous, huge gorge just right in the middle of the town. So cool. Super nice.
Guys, so this week's story from the road, of course we've got one, is pretty exciting. We started our travels leaving in Waterloo region and ended up in Sudbury. And after hashtagging Sudbury on an Instagram post, we got contacted by CTV News to do an interview with them, which was pretty awesome. We thought it was neat, just about staying in the frigid temperatures. It hit almost -40 this week as we were traveling. So Josh is going to link it in the description below, so you can go ahead and go and watch that. There's also a written article that the anchor did too, which was pretty awesome. So
put that in there too.
yeah, this week's story from the road was we made it on the news.
We're famous
Woo!
for 5 minutes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching again. We're so happy you came back. Like, subscribe, click that little bell so you know when we've got new videos coming out. We've got lots more to share with you in 2022. So thanks again. See you later.
See ya.